guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Alessandra if you're new here. So if you've been watching these videos, you will probably have watched a couple videos of me talking about quitting the birth control pill and using a method called FAM for natural birth control, and just going through some of the details that I experienced going off of the hormonal birth control pill. This video is a 5-month update post-pill, and I'm just gonna kind of go through what I'm experiencing, what I'm changing, what I'm adding into my routine, and just kind of give you guys an update. So if you enjoy me talking about topics like this, make sure to give the video a thumbs up and make sure to share this video with a friend that you think would find it helpful. The more you share and comment and like, the more this video gets seen and the more it helps out the channel. So quick couple points to recap to catch up those of you who have not seen the other videos yet. If you want to go back and watch those, I'll link them. But just a couple quick points to catch you up to speed. I stopped taking my birth control last December after 10 years of being on the hormonal birth control pill with no breaks. I was experiencing anxiety, slight depression, fatigue, brain fog, crazy mood swings, and things that I just knew were not me. So I wanted to experiment and see what life was like off the pill, because I haven't been off the pill since I was about 15 years old. I got my cycle back pretty much right away. I have had a few anovulatory months, which means that I did get my period each month, but each month didn't necessarily mean that I ovulated. I have ovulated a few times, but it hasn't been consistent each month, which is normal coming off the pill. I use a natural form of birth control now. It's called the Fertility Awareness Method, or FAM. If you want to learn more about that, read this book or this book. That will help a lot and clarify what that is and if it's right for you. That's kind of like what I'm dealing with in a nutshell for the past 5 months to catch you up to speed. This video, I'm gonna give you an update on how that's going, what I'm doing to help things along, what I'm experiencing, and all that. So after giving my body about 5 months now to regulate coming off the pill, I have concluded some things. And this is just based on my experiences and me researching my body and figuring out what's going on. I haven't had any tests done yet, so it's not like official, but it's pretty apparent that my body is deficient in progesterone. And basically the two main hormones that your body uses throughout your cycle are estrogen and progesterone. And the reason why I think I am deficient in progesterone is because the second half of my cycle, from ovulation to the start of my next period, has been super short. It's been varying between 5 and 7 days, when in reality you want that to be at least 10 days, and you can extend that up to 15 days. So this phase is called the luteal phase. I'm also experiencing some slight mood swings and like just weird behavior that's not really normal. I wouldn't say it's nearly as bad as it was when I was on the pill, but a few days out of the month, I'm just like either really sad or anxiety. Like I noticed anxiety has been up a little bit more lately too, for not really any reason. So things like that. And then also I am tracking my cycle through an app called Kindara. There's plenty of apps out there. This is the one that I use and I pay for each month. It's $5 a month. I just liked it the best out of all of the ones that I tried. And the book, Taking Charge of Your Fertility, definitely talks about all of this more in depth. But basically, the first half of your cycle, your temperatures are lower. So when you get your period until ovulation, around that time, your temperatures are on the lower end. And then you have a spike in temperature when you ovulate or after you ovulate, and that temperature rise stays up until you get your next period, and then it drops again. So if you get pregnant, that temperature just stays up and it doesn't ever drop again. With me, with my cycles, since I feel like my body is trying to ovulate, so my temperature will spike and then it will drop because I just don't have enough progesterone. And then it will finally ovulate a couple days later and it will spike again, and then it will stay up. But then that only happens for about 5 to 7 days, like I said, which is the length of my luteal phase. And that's not really ideal. That's not something that you want to be happening, especially when you do start trying to have a baby. The chances of miscarriage go up when that happens, and it's just not normal. Based on all of that stuff, I have concluded that I am probably deficient in progesterone. So I am now, since it's been about 5 months, I've let my body do its thing on its own. I'm now focusing on some natural methods to increase my progesterone. So what am I doing to help naturally increase this? I stopped drinking coffee. The title of this video, everybody loves coffee. I used to love drinking my coffee every morning, but caffeine is a stimulant and it can increase your stress. So high stress is not good for your hormones or your adrenals. And obviously that's not something that I want to keep putting in my body if it can be interfering with what my hormones are doing. So I cut out caffeine. I've been drinking decaf coffee, turmeric lattes, and decaf tea. I am looking into matcha. I probably will make a whole nother video about that once I try it and if I try it. But basically cut out caffeine for right now. I actually feel pretty good. The first week or so kind of sucked because I was drinking coffee every morning, probably 2.5 cups a day. But I honestly feel fine now. I feel better, if anything. It did decrease stress a little bit. So anxiety, stress, that stuff came down a little bit with the decrease in caffeine, which has been great. I'm also taking some vitamins. I'm taking B6. I'm taking magnesium glycinate actually, because I was taking magnesium citrate for a bit and it was kind of messing up my digestive system a little bit too much. I'm also taking zinc, and I also started taking evening primrose in the morning. And then this month I am starting taking a supplement called Vitex. It's also known as Chasti, I don't know how to say it, Chastiberry, but it's a natural supplement. You can find it at any health food store or vitamin shop. But basically what it does, it's a natural herb that increases your luteal hormone and hopefully will increase progesterone naturally. So that's kind of like my next step here. I was waiting to try that because you don't want to start taking that when you come right off the pill, because you just want to give your body a chance to do what it's going to do naturally. Maybe you'll get your period back and everything's fine and you don't need supplements. So I gave myself that little cushion, but it's definitely time to start taking that. I just started taking it today. My period is finishing up, and your period is basically the start of a new cycle. So we'll see how that works out. Also, obviously eating pretty healthy. I put that in quotes because healthy to one person is something totally different than healthy to someone else. Pretty much mostly nutrient dense foods. I'll have a treat on the weekend here and there, or at night if I really want something. But trying to really get that fiber intake in. I've been aiming for 30 to 45 grams of fiber per day, which before I was only having about 20 to 25, which is still good. You want to aim between 20 to 40 grams per day. I'm also making sure I'm eating enough food. So I think it's an issue with women in general, not for just women trying to balance their hormones, but when you're not eating enough food, especially carbs and healthy fats, your hormones are not going to function properly. You have to be eating carbs and you have to be eating enough healthy fats to let your body do what it's supposed to do. Constantly dieting and constantly under eating is only going to mess things up further and take you that much longer to regulate your hormones. So I'm eating about 2,100 calories per day. This is my maintenance after spending years cutting and bulking and maintaining and figuring out where my body is with my activity level right now, with my body weight, with just based on me. These are my macros and my calories. I'll put them on the screen here. It's more than enough food for what I'm doing right now, and it's actually less than what I was eating probably a year ago at this time, just because I'm not training as much as I was. And that's my next point, is that my training volume was cut down a little bit. I'm still training 5 days per week with strength training, and I would say I'm doing 1 or 2 cardio sessions per week. So my training volume overall is cut down. My workouts are only about an hour, nothing crazy or excessive, just enough to feel good and get it done and maintain the muscle that I have. And cardio is on an as wanted basis. I don't force it if I'm not in the mood to do it. And something else I've been doing is just walking more. So I take Cal for a walk more. I try to get out and get more movement in just because it makes me feel better mentally and physically. So my training has definitely shifted a lot from where it was a year ago when I was powerlifting and Olympic lifting and all that stuff. So by scaling back my training, that is minimizing my stress on my body. And then the last thing I'm doing is just limiting cow's dairy. I talked about that a little bit in the last one. It just helps reduce inflammation and it's been helping my skin a lot. My skin actually looks pretty good right now. I know it was breaking out a little bit last week, but it's gonna go through whatever it's gonna go through during this time, but I feel like I'm almost getting there with my skin, so that makes me happy. But yeah, that's kind of like a little recap on where I'm at hormonal wise. I definitely feel like I have more of a sense of awareness of what my body wants and how it responds to things now than I ever did before. Before, I was just so focused on training hard and looking good and just being the best athlete that I could, whereas now my health is my top priority, and it just feels so good, you guys, to take that step back, put your health first, not really focus on having a six-pack or hitting a certain PR in the gym. Obviously, those things are still exciting, and I still love to train, and I still love to fuel my body so that it does look good, but my health comes first always. So I'm not trying to cut right now. I'm not trying to bulk right now. I'm just trying to maintain and get my body and let my body figure out what it's supposed to do. And then once things kind of stabilize, then I can get back to focusing a little bit more on training, doing different things there. But it feels good and it feels really empowering to really focus on this. If you've never focused on your health as a woman, I urge you to just at least read the books or start researching a little bit more. I feel good doing this now and not later. Like I was thinking, what would have happened if I waited until we were ready to have a kid and then I decided to go off birth control and I had all of these issues and it would take that much longer. So now I know that my body will be ready to go, and not that it's happening anytime soon because I know my sister is probably watching this, but yeah, I just feel good knowing my body is doing what it's supposed to do, or trying to at least, and giving effort back into making sure that it's working efficiently. So that's this little rant of this hormonal update. If you guys have questions or concerns or want to share your story, comment below and share your story. I know we got a bunch of comments on the last couple of videos about this, and it was really cool to hear everyone's story and what they're going through and different things that worked for them. But again, this is just me sharing my experience. I'm not telling you to stop taking your birth control pill. I'm not telling you to stop eating dairy. I'm not telling you to start taking these same supplements that I'm taking. I'm just sharing my story. So hopefully you enjoyed it. Give this video a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.